There's a house on Maple Ridge, the kind your nightmares remember. It's been empty for 50 years. But every evening at 9:17 p.m., without fail, a light turns on in the upstairs window. Some say it's faulty wiring. Others claim it's a prank. But those who've dared to go inside never speak of what they saw. Or worse, they don't come back at all. But it wasn't always abandoned. In fact, it was once the home of a bright, cheerful little girl named Eloise. Until the night the town decided she didn't exist. In 1973, Maple Ridge was a small, tight-knit town where everyone knew everyone. Eloise Mathers lived at 212 Maple Ridge Lane with her father, a widowed clockmaker. She was sweet, curious, and quiet, always peeking through her bedroom window at the neighborhood kids, though she never joined them. She never spoke in school. She never smiled in photos. But her teachers said she was brilliant. Then one rainy Thursday, Eloise stopped coming to class. Her father claimed she had a cold. But the days turned to weeks. People started asking questions. Until they didn't. Because when the sheriff finally visited the house, it was empty. Or so he said. Rumors filled the void. She ran away. She was never real. Her father went mad and, well, you know. But no one ever really investigated. The town chose silence. The house was boarded up and left to rot. Then, strange things began happening. Children walking home at night claimed they saw a girl in the window, her hands pressed to the glass, lips moving soundlessly. Some said they heard her crying through the bricks. Others claimed she whispered their names. By the 1990s, Maple Ridge had become a ghost town of its own. Teenagers dared each other to break in, but many returned changed. Silent. Withdrawn. One boy was found days later in the woods, mumbling. She just wanted someone to listen. A local journalist named Nina Ellis, known for uncovering the stories no one dares to tell, arrived in 2023 to write about the legend. But what she uncovered was no legend at all. Nina snuck into the house, recording every step. The air inside was heavy, stale. Children's books lined the dusty shelves. A tiny dress hung on a coat hook. And upstairs, in Eloise's room, the window was wide open. Nina Saturday waited. Nothing. Until her recorder started playing back a voice that hadn't been there. Are you here to remember me? Nina turned. No one. They forgot me. Please, don't forget. Suddenly, clocks all over the house began to tick. Fast. As if time was rushing to catch up with itself. Nina fled, but before leaving, she left a note on the window. We remember you, Eloise. And the house fell silent. For the first time in 50 years. The light never turned on again. Nina published the article under the title, The Girl in the Window, A Town's Guilty Silence. The story exploded. Not for its horror, but for its honesty. Because people finally remembered Eloise. Not as a ghost. But as a forgotten child lost in a world too afraid to ask questions. The town raised a memorial. The house was torn down. And every October 12th, they light a candle in the park, and leave a space open beside it. For the girl who was always watching. And always waiting. Microphone # this is the untold side. Because some stories aren't about monsters. They're about what happens when we pretend nothing's wrong. Bell subscribe for more stories that bring the past back to life. One whisper at a time.